Welcome to Pan African Pulse. I'm your host, Kendra Shae-Marie Mullings. Coming up on today's show, we're going to discuss the mandatory Black History curriculum coming out for the province of Ontario. All that and more on Pan African Pulse. Welcome back to Pan African Pulse. I'm joined on today's show by Justin Cadigan, Terrence Thomas, and Catherine Antwi. Welcome, and thank you all so much for being here with me today. This past Black History Month, Ontario's Education Minister announced that beginning in the school year 25 and 26, a mandatory Black History curriculum will roll out in our school boards for grades 7, 8, and 10. How do we feel about this announcement? Justin?
I think it's a great start, but it's going to depend on what's included in that curriculum.
Yeah.
I think depending on what's in there and what they're going to be teaching our youth will be very much, detrimental to their knowledge. When I think about Black history, I think about Black history not just starting in the Western culture, but way back in Africa.
So it could be detrimental, kind of like what's included already, if not executed properly, is what I hear you saying.
100%.
That makes sense to me. Terrence, how do you feel about this announcement, especially as a parent with a child in the school board in Ontario?
Well, I feel that the school board should focus on what the substance is, what the direction is. Basically, Black history talks about building an economy, building a country. Obviously, it started with the Irish first, then the Italians, and Blacks came in. Blacks was before as well. But you have to see that the whole substance is we're adding to the 7 sectors of the economy. So basically, you should be learning of what that contribution was, whether it be in the marine life, in food industry, in the mining industry, clothing, textiles. What is it? Why is it? How is it? We learn that in university all the time. And if kids in grade 7 and 8 know the substance of why am I learning about how to grow lettuce in a in a certain type of environment? What do I need to learn about hydro and heat and solar? Why am I adding up so much paint do I need for a wall, or measuring the load on a roof or something like that? They have to know why they're doing it. And if that substance of Black history says, hey, the contribution of the Black history was to build an economy, right? And in that economy, we do have finances, we do have textiles, we do have resources. How do we now educate on those resources? And what are those resources, and how do they fit into the 7 sectors of the economy?
Right.
And other cultures have said, hey, we're going to specialize in this sector of that economy. We're going to specialize in that sector, or a number of them. And a lot of other cultures around the world train their kids in those specific areas, and we're going to hit these areas. Like if you look at the flight of the Irish contribution, they came here and they basically were put into certain types of jobs. They were treated like lower class citizens after they had the potato famine. And they strove after 50 years, which is about a generation, and they said, hey, we're going to strive to take certain types of jobs. So we're going to take...
So what I hear you saying is that the contribution that Black people have made to these 7 sectors in building an economy has always been there, and it's multifaceted. And this is what we need to kind of pass down to the youth: practical ways of participating in society, ways that we've already always done, but also getting our flowers for it. And growing in it as well, right? So again, what is included in this curriculum? What are we teaching exactly when we say Black history? Catherine, how do you feel about the announcement?
Right, that's exactly how I feel too. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm curious as to what the context of it is. How far is it going to go? What is included? I strongly believe that education is really the best way to challenge racism, discrimination that exists in our society. So I'm looking forward to seeing that this start of including Black history in the curriculum is actually going to make an impact, a positive one,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I
the
feel
economy,
kind
yeah.
of the same as all of you. I'm curious about what's going to be in it. I want it to be practical and actually help the youth to grow. And I'm excited also because it's a step in the right direction. Many of
Right.
us have been doing this work to kind of supplement the Black history on the side. It's nice now to have the school board take that responsibility and take us seriously as a people. I'm going to come back to you, Catherine. Have you noticed any Black history in your child's education previously to this announcement from the school board?
Not at all.
Yeah.
But last week, my daughters were talking about a luncheon in their cafeteria
Okay.
of some Caribbean foods that were served, and I had asked why was this like that day different from any other day,
Yeah.
and they had no idea.
Yeah.
They said we don't know. It was lunchtime. We went into the cafeteria and we saw that they were serving jerk chicken.
Yeah.
So
I see that a lot in a lot of the schools I work at. It's almost like the effort is appreciated, but it's
Right.
almost giving like almost like a panic.
Right.
Like it's at the forefront now. Everyone's talking to it. We got to jump on it. Terrence, you're also a parent, and you're in different school boards, so it's interesting. In the school board that your child is being educated in, have you seen your child experience Black history education from the school previously?
Bits and parts, some assemblies, some,
Outside Black History Month?
no, not outside, not outside, but with assemblies and know they're looking for different types of events to celebrate. But the focus, what the focus is, I'm not too sure. I mean, the
Right.
contribution, yeah, we might say that we have Black contributors who made the light bulb or something like that, but I think the core essence of the message that they're supposed to find out in education-wise is what led them to, how do we recreate those thoughts will become actions later, again, and in education, and how we strive from that, how we put numbers to actions to progress.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. We need to take responsibility as a community for how our kids are being educated. Coming to you now, Justin, when you were a youth in the school board, did you learn Black history within our school systems here in Ontario?
No, no. I mean, we had obviously Black History Month, but it was very high level. But you and I go way back.
We do.
We go way back. So
To the 5th grade.
we do go back to the 5th grade. So I don't know if you remember when we were in the fifth grade and we were about to transition to middle school. Do you remember they brought in a gentleman by Mr. George?
Yes, I do remember Mr. George. He called me Kendra.
Yes, they brought in Mr. George for myself and 3 other Black males.
And me.
Yes, yes.
The only girl.
The only girl. Yes, that's right. And at that time, I didn't understand what it was.
I'm getting it now as you're
You're
speaking
getting
to
it,
it. He
right?
was there to educate us on being Black because we were a group of kids that were exceptional and
Exactly.
happened to be Black at the same time.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Exceptional because we were Black maybe? Who knows? But we were exceptional and he was there to kind of lead us into what
Yes.
Terrence was saying.
Yes.
How can we take these gifts that we already have and contribute to society? The great thing about that group of kids, you and me included, is that we're all doing it right now.
We're doing it.
I want to move on a little bit. Terrence, how would the inclusion of Black history in the curriculum when you were a youth have benefited you in your professional endeavors? Obviously, you got where you were going. You're a professional in the community. But how would learning Black history when you were a youth have helped you to get there?
The focus piece.
Yeah.
Specialization piece. It would have been a quicker process into having direction of what you want to do, how you want to contribute to society, to the 7 sectors that they're trying to expand.
Yeah, and
Like
if you've
they're-
had the opportunity to see, like, there's going to be a young Black man, youth, 14 years old, 15 years old, like your son and my son, watching this and seeing you and Justin sitting here with your professional titles under your name on the screen. I didn't see a lot of that growing up, male or female. It's a major impact. I want to ask.
The whole thing is we come back to how do you choose talent? Like if you're going to start a company or recognize, like from the STEM program, how do you choose talent? How do you recognize and choose that person who's going to be a successor?
Well, I think you offer it to everyone and allow everyone the opportunity to grow within their skills. I want to know, what do you hope is included in the curriculum? And just a brief response from each of you, beginning with Catherine. What that one piece that you hope is included in the curriculum?
I hope that it will help dismantle a lot of the negative stereotypes of Black people.
Yeah.
I mean, my daughters come back to me and always they're talking about, oh, I have so many people that want to touch my hair. They want to feel my hair.
Yeah.
And they're picking at things to describe the way my hair feels. And I feel like that's in a way of them trying to make me feel bad.
Yeah.
And so I hope that it will really address the stereotypes that a lot of Black kids are facing in the school system.
Because knowledge is power, right?
Exactly.
And that lack of knowledge is what we call ignorance, and that's what causes
Exactly.
behaviors
Yes.
like fetishizing us or eroticizing us, and now we
Yes.
have to touch the hair, we have to know what it's like.
Right.
If you just knew about it and knew the history of our hair, maybe that would go away.
Right, for
Justin,
sure.
what would you like to see included in the curriculum? Going by, you don't have a child in the school system, but you were once a child in the school system. What do you want to see included for these kids for this next generation?
If I could be candid, I'm not sure if there's anything that would really change what's happening to the youth nowadays.
Yeah. Is it more representation? Do we need more Black teachers? Do we need...
Yes, that's where I wanted to get to. So who's behind drafting up this curriculum? Do
Yeah.
they look like us?
Right?
Right?
It's a good question. It's a valid question, and that's why we're here today, to pose these questions.
Right.
Because did they just roll this out as like,
To
oh,
appease
it's
us?
Black History
Yes,
Month, and I'm going to
exactly.
give you guys this
Yes.
thing that
Exactly.
you've been wanting for so long.
Exactly.
Did we really think it through? Did we really know what's going on? Terrence, you have a child in the school board whose grade, well, I guess they'll get it next year, because they'll be in grade 10, which is wonderful. What do you want to see included in the curriculum? You talked about the 7 sectors. What's that key piece?
Well, I think that key piece is knowing their contribution and seeing the whole picture from the inputs and outputs, and that the inclusion piece is where everybody is capable of doing it. Everybody from every culture can do it, but when I put in an input, what comes out at the end?
Okay.
And that the
So
knowledge
we
is not
all
hidden.
need to be included in what's going on, all cultures.
Yes.
I want to thank you all so much for being here. Coming up on Pan-African Pulse, we're going to be discussing this topic further with a school board trustee, a Ontario certified teacher, and a local politician. Stay tuned for more Pan-African Pulse. Welcome back to Pan-African Pulse. The conversation about our mandatory Black History curriculum continues. I am now joined by Geraldine Duhaney, Victoria Ennis, and Carolyn Butterworth. I couldn't be in better company. So we all know that this past February, the Ontario government talked about a mandatory Black History curriculum joining all our school boards in Ontario for the 25-26 school year for grades 7, 8, and 10. Are we excited that Black history is going to be included in this curriculum? Geraldine?
Well, thank you so much for having me on the show.
Yeah.
And as a Black person, a mother of 4, of course, I am thrilled
Yes.
to know that the Black history will be a part of the school curriculum. I'm very excited about the inclusion. I believe that it is a crucial step towards understanding our heritage and
Yeah.
contribution as Black people.
I would agree. I think it's an excellent start. Victoria, how are you feeling about this announcement?
I feel great about it. I feel great about it because as a teacher, I like to see teachers put in more effort to have Black history in their classrooms. It's possible for teachers right now to do Black history, but because it's mandatory in 2025, that will mean more people have access to Black history outside of Black History Month.
Yeah, it's excellent that we can included all the time. It almost sounds broken record,
Exactly.
especially for this group of women here, because it's what
Exactly.
we've been saying for so long. 365, 365,
Yeah.
365. Carolyn, how are you feeling about it as a
As a
365er?
365er and a teacher and a school board trustee, I'm excited and I'm relieved.
Yeah.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's Black history is Canadian history, and our students, all of our students, need to know how Black people have contributed to the history, the building of our country. So I'm
It's
relieved.
overdue.
It's overdue. Absolutely.
Excellent. I feel the same. I'm so excited. Staying with you, Carolyn, who is or should be included in the decision of what is covered in this new curriculum, in your opinion?
Well, it's a ministry document, so they need to be consulting all the stakeholders. So we should be looking at Black educators,
Yes.
Black scholars, academics. We need to look at communities across the province.
Yes.
It isn't just a GTA, consulting people in the GTA. It is
And the communities
far
are
and
so
wide.
different.
And then within our communities, affinity groups, I think everybody needs to have a voice. And so hopefully that consultation includes that.
Yeah. I think that's what we're all hoping to see. Coming back to you, Victoria, who is expected to be teaching, and what does that look like for students, do you think?
In the classroom, so grades 7, 8, and 10 are the ones that have history, right? We have like social studies in grade 7 and 8, and then we have grade 10 Canadian history. So the teachers will be teaching their regular programming, but I hope including Black history as a lens, or just thinking about what were Black Canadians doing at this time,
As
right?
well,
Actually
right?
adding in that lens,
Yeah.
right? Like a Black critical lens to
Yeah.
the curriculum. And what does it mean for the students? I think a lot of students, especially you and I know, when we did Black history with grade 8 students, they
Yeah.
were thrilled. All of the students,
Yeah.
Black,
It
white,
was such a pleasant
Indigenous.
surprise.
Yeah, they loved the
They were
history.
so receptive.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that the students are only going to benefit from Black history. It's just going to give them more comprehensive learning.
Yeah, more depth to it. Cheryl Dean, do you think this addition to the curriculum could lessen incidents of anti-Black racism in our schools?
I totally believe that it will definitely reduce incidents of anti-Black racism in our school by fostering empathy and awareness, ideally, because when you're not aware of something, and we talk about the unconscious bias,
Yes.
when you're not aware, of course, there's going to be a lot of unconscious bias, but when you become more aware, you're more conscious with what you're doing, you're more sensitive, you're more
Yes.
careful with your approach, right, in certain things. So definitely, I believe that it will definitely reduce.
I'm so
Yes.
hopeful for that. And I feel like Victoria and I saw a bit of it in the fall when we got to teach Black history. We were brought in to teach because there were so many incidents happening. And I feel that even within a time within the room, there was a shift in the energy just
Yep.
by having more knowledge about Black
Yes,
people.
yes.
So I'm really hopeful to see this too. Coming to you, Trustee Butterworth, what do you say might be some of the reasons why there are so few Black teachers historically in our school boards?
Yes, historically, there are many reasons, and I will say that racism has been a part of that.
Yeah, thank you for acknowledging
whether
that.
whether it's explicit or implicit
Yeah.
racism, absolutely. I think historically, people who are in that hiring position tend to hire people who look and sound like them.
Yeah.
And that has been, in a sense, a barrier. We have not looked beyond that. We look at people who sort of fit that Eurocentric model, and because it's what, in a sense, people are comfortable or have been traditionally comfortable with, but it's changing. I want to sort of put in a little plug. YRDSB, this is a priority to make sure that we are hiring diverse educators, Black teachers, and others. It's important for the students in our classrooms in front of that we are looking at can see somebody, a reflection of who they are.
Yeah.
And we know from research that just helps improve outcomes for those
That
who are
representation piece is so
Absolutely.
important.
absolutely.
There was a young lady in one of the groups that Victoria and I were teaching that was so lit up by the reality that Victoria just graduated from Harvard University, and for the first time she was like, I could go to
can do that.
Harvard?
Yes.
And we were like,
Absolutely.
well, yeah.
Yes.
But if she hadn't had the opportunity to see
Exactly.
Victoria at the front of the
Yeah.
room educating her, she might not have made that connection and just automatically assumed that
Absolutely.
that wasn't something for her.
Absolutely.
Can't wait to see what
So,
she does.
Absolutely. Agree.
So, to you, Victoria, have you yourself taught Black history? We know that you have with me, but it may be in other circumstances, maybe in some of your teachings overseas. Or do you know other teachers who are doing it already in their curriculums even before this mandatory announcement?
Yes, so I've definitely done it myself. I've even done it in international settings.
I
used
want to hear
teach-
about that.
I used to teach in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And I would also do Black history in Vietnam as well.
Right.
Honestly,
It's
I was
everybody's
doing
history.
it's everyone's history, and again, they're interested. They
Yeah.
weren't just like, this is not relevant to us. They actually said, oh, we knew about this a little bit because we watched movies, we know Hollywood, but we weren't really, invested in the Canadian history because I
Yeah.
taught at a Canadian international school. And I do
Beautiful.
have teacher friends who are history teachers who always incorporate Black history. That's their regular practice.
Yeah, to just go ahead and incorporate it.
Absolutely.
Where I benefit a little bit is I left the Jane and Finch area in my high school years and had the opportunity to go to different high schools and experience in like different areas. And experience it, and I was in an area like Bathurst and Wilson Heights area, which is a predominantly Jewish area, and I had a Jewish teacher, history teacher, and she took it upon herself to really include Black history, and that's where I got a lot of that from. And a lot of kids that went to that same school at the same time as me did not get that. That was just something that she took upon herself. So I think it's so great that it's mandatory now, and everyone's going to have to play a part. To you, Cheryl Dean, should this curriculum be for all grades, in your opinion? So we're starting with their grades 7, 8, and 10. What do you think about all the other grades?
I really believe that it should span all age group, from kindergarten to grade 12, just to ensure that they are receiving the complete education in order to progress as students right throughout their school year. Because again, as Carolyn said, Black history is Canadian history.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure that they're getting it from a tender age, like any other subject. For example, math, English, phonics, actually.
And you
Phonics
start and it progresses,
and you
right?
progress. So I think it's the same way. So I really believe that it should span to all age. However, it's a start, right? And starting at the age that they
We're not mad at
want
the
to
start.
start.
We're not mad at the start.
Not exactly. It is a start and awesome, and I'm hoping for future, you know what I mean, as they have more teachers that are trained. Because, of course, to teach this curriculum, we're going to make sure that the teachers are trained. We're going to make sure that there are proper resources and support. And also, the curriculum has to be age appropriate as well.
Yeah.
So I know it's a lot of work.
It is.
So, kudos to the start.
It's a good start and a lot of work, but we've been doing it,
We've
right?
been doing it.
We've been doing programs like Black Saturday
Yes.
School, Sankofa, with NACA, like all the communities have had something going on. Victoria's been running programs. I see you run programs in
Yes.
Bradford as well.
Yes.
Carolyn's been participating in programs and fighting for change around it. So we've been doing it. So it's very possible to have it be
Yes.
progressive. Like the same school where we taught the grade 8s a certain type of Black history, I also went and taught the grade 1s to 3. It was just a different age appropriate version, right? So it needs to be embedded. I agree with you. My kind of final question to all of you, and you get a little piece, a little bit of time to speak on it, each of you. Can this Black History mandatory curriculum that they've announced in Black History Month, I hope it's more than just hey, it's Black History Month, let's give them something. Can it be implemented properly by 2025, like realistically? Who wants to speak on that first?
I believe it can.
Okay.
With
Ever hopeful.
with the right support. Of course, there are going to be challenges.
I'm
you
just
know what I
bugging.
mean? There's definitely going to be challenges, and as
Yeah.
I mentioned before, we have to make sure that the teachers are trained so that they can effectively deliver these curriculum.
Yeah.
We have to also make sure that there are resources in place, and also, you know what I mean, challenges from maybe different communities, institutions, play a lot of factor as well when it comes on to the challenges. However, I believe with the right resources, with proper planning and dedication, overcoming those challenges is possible. Yes.
Girl, I want to be on that train. Victoria, can it be properly implemented by 2025?
I feel good about it.
Yeah?
I feel good about it. At the same time, I think 2025 is sooner than we think it
Yeah.
is. By the next school year, right, there would have to be a lot done over the summertime,
Yeah.
right? So by the time it's September, the school year is going to fly by. People are not going to have the full time to dedicate teachers to have a training during the school year, and then the summer 2025 is going to come up, and then we're going to start. So I'm hopeful. At the same time, it's a very quick timeline.
Thank you. And I want to hear what you have to say, Carolyn. You got a minute.
Well, I'm going to be more realistic. I want to be idealistic.
Me
I
too.
really do. But I know how long consultations take. And I know I've been part of curriculum writing. I know how many revisions there are, and making sure that all of the I's are dotted and T's are crossed. It's time. You know, I'm thinking the curriculum's probably going to be there, but all the other pieces in terms of the resources, because then resources now have to reflect what that curriculum is about, right? And I know there's information out there, don't get me wrong, but it's you know, culling it so that it's all sort of together so that teachers have it at their fingertips. And then
I
there's that
hear what you're saying, Carolyn. We need
professional
to make
development.
sure
Yeah.
that we get all those pieces in place. We're
Absolutely.
hopeful,
Yeah.
but we also need to be realistic.
Yes.
I want to thank you all
Yeah.
so much for being here, and hopefully we have given some food for thought around this very important